What it do, fam bam? It's your brother, your fellow God. It's Max at the Don, aka Tahuti son, which means I shine through the wisdom. But look, it's been a lot of things going on in the media. One of the things that I've been noticing a lot is people coming out as black all of a sudden after they've been passing for black for all these years. And the problem that I have with this is not the fact that they come out as being black. The problem that I have with this is these people wait years after they benefit and say nothing when things are happening to all the black people around them. They say not a goddamn thing. But yet these people, they play victim once people tend to call them out for them actually being half black or having black within them or whatever the situation may be. And they tend to play the fool or they pull a certain card, and that card I'm going to motherfucking talk about today. The doors of the church are open. Welcome to the Church of Black Power. Now, TCBP1, we understand in our minds, and I say we because I don't just speak for I speak for the collective of people who understand this, who just tells people the same goddamn thing that I tell the other people. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the first person saying this, and I probably won't be the last. But the thing that we have in common is we don't stop saying this shit. We continue to let people know about the real shit. We might talk in different subjects. We might do it in different ways. But guess what? It's all for the same purpose. Not everybody. Not everybody. You can't trust a lot of these people that do not align with what the message of the BGR is. If you are not about the black grassroots, if you cannot be proven to be about the black grassroots, then you are just literally a waste of space and a waste of time. Which brings me to my topic today. Passing Milanos. And why I can't rock with them. Passing Milanos. And why I can't rock with them. And let me tell you what it is. This is going to sound real like, oh, I'm calling out. No, what I'm doing, I'm speaking facts. And anything that I speak about, like I tell everybody that I tell any type of information to, if you don't believe me, research it and we can go a battle of wits after that. If your research says something different, okay, cool. But I'm going to pull out the research that I have. And my research, I've done extensive. And most people just do research to try to prove you wrong, so they go to Google not knowing that Google are owned by the same type of motherfucking people that's hiding that information. Let's talk about it. Now, in this church, I don't take donations. Now, if you want to offer anything, at this point in time, I'm not a person that can take from anybody and be satisfied for doing it. And when I say that, I want you to understand why. I can't take from my people and be satisfied from taking from my people. That's not something I can do, especially when my people's in need of policy and reparations and everything that we need to survive in this country. Like, that is something that needs to happen. So if a person who has funds want to help me at this point in time, I ask you to help the community. Go out and find somebody in your community that you know is freaking in need. That's a black person. And help that person pay their rent. Help that person do something that will benefit them to no longer need any help in the future. I mean, if y'all giving money to people online for free, just for the kicks and shits and giggles, why can't we do this for each other? I mean, I think that that would actually help the community rather than people sit here and talk bullshit all goddamn day online and people just pay them to do that. I'm not looking for a payday. Now, later on, if we decide to create something together so that we all can benefit from it in a more predominant way, that's a different story, and that won't even be through me. That'll be something that we put together, and we'll find the right people to run stuff. That'll be all us. And when I say we, I mean everyone that's a part of this movement. But I would never, and because I have ethical value in myself, I would never fucking be a front runner to fucking be in control of it. What I would do is make sure we have veto power to it. The people, us, we be able to have veto power to the people that we put into those sectors. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, automatically you're vetoed. Like, I have so many ideas, but we're going to talk about that on another level. But right now, I want to talk about these passing Negroes and why I don't rock with them. And when I say that, I'm not talking about your average person that can pass, because your average person that you meet on the street that's black, they're proud to tell you they're black. I mean, this is no lie. They literally are proud to say, well, I got some sort of black in me on this side, this, that, and the third. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about today is the Negro that feels that he needs to pass in Hollywood or in the political sectors or in private sectors or fill in the blank. Why is this dangerous, and why do I say I don't rock with them? Because the truth of the matter is this whole situation is that passing means that I'm ignoring everything that's happening to my own people. I've chosen a side. When the Moors ruled Spain and a lot of other places around the world, they brought education, technology, and everything else that you can think of to a land that was ignorant and dark and and without technology, excuse me. But what happens is this: all those black faces that went in and taught all these people, those people took that information and they grew and they grew and they grew. But some of those Moors started feeling themselves and started thinking that it was okay to just go off and bang anything because, the Moors were revered. And so they started having these mixed breed babies. This ain't me talking. This is fucking history. Go look it up if you think that I'm sitting here talking shit. I'm speaking facts, you dumb son of mama guns. And to the intelligent people, high five, because you already know this. And anybody that follows me here, that's followed me previously in other places like Vine and things like that, when I was sitting there putting all black history in 6 second cuts, shout out to you. If you ever hear this, I don't have to be super big right now. I just know. If you ever hear this at some point, you'll know, and you'll be able to say, yep, right, because all the shit I'm saying is absolute. The Moors was brought down by the Milanos. And there's a difference between Milano and a person who's mixed. And let me tell you what's the difference. The Moors knew what Milanos was, and black people knew what Milanos was. They were half-breeds of white and black people. No matter in what culture, black and Spaniard, black and white. Milanos are black, and really anything that is considered white by white supremacy definition. The system of white supremacy's definition. So the thing that really gets to me is people who pass. Because people who pass, they don't even tell people that they were passing until when. They don't even tell people they were passing until when. They tell people they're passing when they're about to pass away. I've been passing my whole life, but I am actually. And the people that don't say nothing, they still They pass and then they die and they brought out to be a passing black person. And then people start revering them and shit, talking about, yeah, this person was black and they blah, 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 blah. Glorifying that shit. But let's keep this 100. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Plus a buck. How many of those people, and I say, how many of those people, I say, how many of those people? Just how many? How many of those people were speaking up for black issues using that white privilege that they were sitting there passing with their whole life? How many? So let's go through a few people that's in Hollywood who just decides to pass. So I came across an article a while back, and it just seemed real appropriate, if you will, to bring up this article. And we're going to talk about not just this article, but a certain somebody. A certain somebody who want to bring up being mixed breed, or AkA Milano. And then I'm going to tell you about why there was an issue with the Milanos and why the black people, the Moors, didn't trust Milanos. Even though them dumb motherfuckers at the time, and I'm going to say dumb motherfuckers even as brilliant as they were, and they're my ancestors and I love them, but they kept making more. They kept making more, even though they had this same feeling and know about this Milano situation. They kept making more. Anyway, let's go into this shit. It's been 17 minutes and I've just been going in on the introduction because I need y'all to understand where I'm coming from. I don't want y'all just saying, oh, Tahuti is just fucking, Tahuti's son's really racist. Even though black people can't be racist, that's a systemic situation. Oh, well, then you're prejudiced. Oh, okay. All right, well, fine. All right, yep. You ain't never lied. Because everybody on the planet is. And I'm also B1. So if I'm be prejudiced, I'm be B1 and prejudiced. You stupid mother lovers. Let's go. All right, so, excuse me. I don't mean to go into my feelings on that. It's like I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of little DMs, and people sitting there trying to play me soft because I'm not sitting there going off the handle, screaming and yelling all the time. I might get passionate enough in these videos and all this other stuff. But since I don't sit there and respond to their dumbness, their ignorance, they feel like they can just continue to talk stuff. Man, you stupid in the head. I ain't got to argue with an idiot. You go ahead and clap for your master if you want to over there. Your cheeks, all that. Clap all that for your master. There's a mirror over there that he got by his bedside. You can watch yourself do it. Go do that. I don't care. They mad about the NFL. I don't care. Because I speak what I speak and I speak the truth. They don't want me to talk about the way I talk about the way I talk about things. I don't care. Who are you? Are you for us or are you against us? Why are you consistently trying to make an excuse? this is. And we're calling all this shit out today. The Church of Black Power is live and the doors of the church is open. So come in and sit your ass down. Because in here is B1 and it's Black Power, and more Black Power. For free. For free. I don't want nothing. I don't want you guys to give me anything. Go give it to someone in your community. Go give that donation that you would give to me to your community. And as long as I'm on this mother loving stuff, I'm not getting that from you. You're my people. We're going through some shit, and I'd be an asshole to sit here and try to play you for your cash. I'm not about to do that. But what you can do, if you got it to give away, go give it to someone who's in absolute need around you, and you can absolutely tell when the person is in need, or you can feel it in your heart. That's what the Church of Black Power is about. Dig me? Now let's move on. We're going to get back into what the whole topic of this situation is, which is basically people who are passing and why it's a problem, especially to the people who think it isn't. So, this article comes from the Atlantic Black Star. 10 black celebs who successfully passed for white. This article came out. It's by AkA Moore. And it's from August 13th, 2013. Now, immediately, the title should tell you exactly what the goal is for a lot of these people who don't speak up on black issues, but themselves have a black parent or a black grandmother or black family, period. Down the line, up the line, through the line. The article. So let's just go through a few of these people. And by AkA Moore, I'm believing this is Antonio Moore, but we'll check into it a little bit later. Shout out to him if it is. Matter of fact, let's do a little open link tab here. Bada bing, bada boom. Well, it just says AkA Moore. And I'm pretty sure it's Antonio Moore. Shout out to him. If it isn't, shout out to whoever wrote the article. Even though Atlanta Black Star, there's a lot of problems with a lot of publications in Atlanta. I don't know nothing about this one. So let's move on. Let's talk about this. 10 black celebs who successfully passed for white. Because, you know, when you pass, you gotta act the part. You gotta be the part. You gotta not say nothing. So the first person is the person that a lot of people love here. And he partakes in this show called Prison Break. And his name is Wentworth Miller. As it reads, it says actor Wentworth Miller is an easy candidate for this list. An easy candidate. Like, whenever you're getting called an easy candidate, that means it's something that's well known that people rarely want to bring up. And this is stuff that's been going back all the way back in history, people who were passing. But we're going to talk about the difference between those people and these people. So, give me a hot second, take a drink of my water. All right. Got to make sure that we going all the way in with no coughing and anything. I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, he COVID up. We can't trust him." All this other shit. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Because people do whatever they need to try and discredit you. So, actor Wentworth Miller is an easy candidate for this list. Why? Because he busted onto the scene after debuting in a film, The Human Stain, where he played a black man passing for a white man. His notoriety was further increased when he played Mariah Carey's love interest in her music video, We Belong Together. The Prison Break star was born of an English, the Prison Break star was born in England to a black father and a white mother. I don't know why I saw British for a second. It threw me away. Because I see England, I automatically saw them British. For some reason. I don't know. But anyway, gotta laugh sometime to keep motherfucking going hard. Because I go hard a lot on this. So it's good I can laugh. But yeah. The Prison Break star was born in England to a black father and a white mother. And we're going to talk about that a little later too. The black father, white mother thing versus the black mother, white father thing. Oh yeah, we're going to get into it. It's going to go deep. So, this is one person. And if you look at him, you got the blue eyes, you got the look, the hair, right? But he's half black and half white. Have you ever heard him coming out against any of the police brutality? When we sit here and call for people to stand with us against certain situations, do you see this motherfucker come out? Like, I just want to know, like, is it me or am I the only person that understands that there is a role that's being played here, that these people have their own space and they live in that space, and so they don't get abused as much, or they don't get shut out of the benefits that they will receive because they look like the way they look like? Is it just me or am I tripping? Okay, let's move on. Who's next? Oh. All you little black chicks out there, right? All my sisters, my queens, my goddesses, all you ones that's out there, super desirable about this person here. Because she went and married a British prince. And that's every girl's dream. Apparently. Which is bullshit. But okay. Because I tend to know one thing that a lot of people don't say. We say it a lot in the community, that a black woman's dream has nothing to do with going and finding a white prince to take care of her. Oh yeah, they make it seem that way. But the thing about that is, a real black woman that knows her history, a queen, a goddess that knows her history, She's going to be able to tell you why that's not going to work for her, especially going into a family where you know for certain, they're not royals in any sense. Let's be 100. Because bloodline is bloodline. If you look at the bloodlines of England, Europe, or anywhere else, the first people that sat on the thrones were not anybody that looked anything like them. And so that's why they try to connect themselves into those bloodlines. Oh, am I talking too much? Am I hurting some ladies' feelings because they like this broad? She's y'all queen and all this other stuff. She's the role model for you because, she went and married some freaking white guy who's a part of a family that's full of pedophiles. Did I say too much? Oh yeah, Tahuti's sun will shine on your ass. Let's be real about this. And this is a disrespectful thing, but you have no problem throwing R. Kelly under the bus. You have no problem throwing Bill Cosby under the bus, and they want to talk about Bill Clinton. And when they do, it's because he's a man. But they want to talk about all the people that's inside of the royal family that's been dealing with pedophiles for over 30 years, 40 years. That's documented by the media. So when you look at Meghan Markle and they be like, oh my God, she left because they were too racist. What else do you think that she left for? Hell, Princess Diana was white and she got killed for the things that she knew. Let's go in. I apologize, but I don't apologize because I'm unapologetic when it comes to this. But what I'm saying is, sometimes I'm way more passionate about this than a lot of people will ever understand. And a lot of people are way more trusting in people that they don't even freaking know. Because of her freckled because I have a list, so don't judge me. But because of her freckled face, actress and fashion model Rachel Meghan Markle could easily be mistaken for being a silly Lily White. I put in the silly, no worries. Okay? Being the silly Lily White. That's anytime I say Lily put anywhere, silly for some reason just seems to pop right in front of that. Especially when White's at the end of it. Anyway. But the star who currently plays Rachel Zane on the U.S. legal drama Suits is the offspring of the African American mother and a Dutch and Irish father. Interesting. Because, to be honest with you, my understanding was this was Quincy Jones' daughter. But that'll be another show. We can talk about that later. Oh yeah. We'll figure that out later. But still. Oh no. They're talking about Rachel here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Miss Meghan Markle. Absolutely right. That is. The person I'm talking about now is Quincy Jones' daughter, Rashida Jones. Is best known for blending Is best known for blending. Is best known for blending. Anyway, I'm sorry I picked things up, Playboy, but I'm not sorry because that's the real shit about it. So, Quincy Jones' daughter, Rashida Jones, is best known for blending in with the rest of the white cast of NBC's Park and Recreations. She is also known for a TV show called The Office. She's also known for playing in certain black movies as the white girl, the stereotypical white girl, and other movies as a stereotypical white girl. So anyway, however, as the daughter of well-known music mogul Quincy Jones, she can hide from her black side. Ain't that some shit? Is it something that she's been trying to hide from? Most people understand, yes. Actress Peggy Limpton is her mother. Okay. So, we're going to keep on running through this shit. Let's get through this. Real Housewives of New Jersey star Melissa Gorga, or Gorgia, or however it's pronounced, don't give a flying F, says that she is 100% Italian American and deny having any black blood in her. See, whenever a person feels the need to come out and say, I'm not having any type of black blood in me, that's that Lincoln effect. And I'm letting you guys know right now, this is something that I've coined. It's called the Lincoln effect, where you have black blood in you and other people suspect you have black blood in you, and it can be proven that you have black blood in you. You start hammering down the nail to prove that you're whiter than ever. And one of the things that you do is swear that you have no black people in your family. Another thing that you do is try to act more white than the white people around you, more racist than more of the races around you. You try to act like black people discuss you and you call out everything that you're discussing about, and then you call them every type of name in the book because you want to be accepted inside of a group. That's the Lincoln Syndrome. And for people who don't understand what I'm talking about, look it up, go research it, and find out about history. And don't look it up on Google, you dumb motherfuckers, because Google is owned by these motherfuckers who don't want you to know history. Really, history is his story. Go and learn the mystery. Because history is written by the winners and the losers get written about. But mystery will always be what the hell it is. My story. Here's a before going under the knife photo of her. You be the judge. Does she look white to you? Is she white? Is she passion? All right. Oh, actress Maya Rudolph, the broad from S&M, who loves to play all those political roles, and you know, one thing I can say about her is Her being passing is a little different because I don't think that she hides or that it took time for people to learn that she was. Maybe early on in her career, yes. And I'm not going to say it's any different at that point. No. I'm just saying I don't know from the point that I started finding out who the hell she was, which was when I used to watch TV and I used to see her a lot. And I'm like, well, who the hell is this broad? And you can tell she looks black. Like I never denied her. I'm like, okay, she's mixed with black. I guarantee you, she got some black in her. Somebody then put some black in somebody, or somebody then took something from somebody else. But that somebody who took something from somebody else was black. And I was right. But actress actress Maya Rudolph is the daughter of soul singer Minnie Riperton, our queen, one of our queens, and songwriter and producer Richard Rudolph. Because of her mother, everybody, I'm pretty sure, loves the fuck out of her. Because here's the thing, when people are passing, it tends to be in a reason or for the reason of not wanting people to know that they're tied to certain people. But Minnie Riperton, that is a different story, right? So that's why I say I can't say that she hasn't, you know what I mean? I can't say that she's been one of those people to not hide that she's mixed so she's a better person. No, there's a fucking a cause and effect. There's a reason for everything that people do. Let's finish this up. Yep. Okay, yeah. Because of her mother was black and her father was an Anunnaki Jew. No, he wasn't. He was Jewish. He was Jewish, which means to be Jew like. Let's be very clear about that. That is in the Jewish dictionary. Jewish means to be Jew like, which means that people converted to Judaism. Do not play with the realness. Anyway, she has played a range of roles of characters from a white woman in movies like Bridesmaid to spoofing Beyonce while and it just amazes me because you go from Bridesmaid from playing a white woman to where you're playing this goofy white woman to spoofing Beyonce while on her stunting motherfucking Saturday Night Live. You're spoofing Beyonce. You make the white woman seem goofy, but when it comes to a black woman, and as much as I don't like Beyonce because of a lot of things that circles around that person, that's a personal thing. I'll never take away from her being a black woman or anything like that. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's okay for anybody to do that. But what you're doing is you're playing both sides of the fucking fence at that point. And this is why I say you're spoofing Beyonce. And you're being goofy in Bridesmaids. Two different things. Two different fucking things. Cash Warren is one of the often mistaken for being Caucasian or Latino. Even though Caucasian and Latino actually is, by definition, the exact same fucking thing. Come at me in the comments if you want to. Come at me ever if you want to. Because it is. Latino, Spaniard, all that is a breed of caca. Caucasoid. European. And people who wants to be European. Because people who are actually black aren't considered Latino and Spaniard, even if you claim that shit. Even the Moors that was there who ran Spain wasn't Spaniard. They knew who they were. They were Moors. Stand the hell up. Learn your history, goddammit. Anyway, Cash Warren is often mistaken for being Caucasian and Latino. But being the son of Hill Street blues actor Michael Warren actually makes him half black. Cash, who is more movie producer than movie star, met his actress wife Jessica Alba while working on the set of the Fantastic Four. Oh yeah. There's just so many people that we have this issue with. And I'm just gonna not read all these other people. I'm just gonna go through the shit so you can see these people. You dig what I'm saying? Some wait till they're on their deathbed to admit it. Some wait till they're called out to admit it. But we have so many people that passes. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem? Why do I not rock with the Milanos? Because here's the thing. Anybody that know history and know about the Milanos were not people who were mixed breeds. Let me say that again. Milanos were not people who were mixed breeds. Milanos was a specific type of mixed breeds. Let me say that again. Milanos was a specific type of mixed breeds. So, when you had a black woman who was with a black man, you create greatness. Why? Because that black child goes through the same struggle as the black family, and the black family is supposed to teach that black child how to survive that struggle and to fight against it. Now, this is trademark and copywritten material from my book I'm about to tell you next. When you have a black woman and a white male, you're going to have that black woman protecting that white male because they're together. So anytime someone come up and start talking shit about it, no, they're going to be sitting there, well, not all of them and all this other shit and all that. Now, hold on. I know a lot of people out there is saying I'm just singlifying. I'm not singlifying it. There's a specific purpose for me splitting it up the way I'm splitting it. So let me get back to what I was saying. Like I was saying, she'd be like, hold on, not all of them. And that's racist and all this other shit and blah, 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 blah. And put on a cape and all this other shit. Black women should be able to date who they want to. Dig me? Not mentioning that a lot of the shit that goes on, behavior wise, on both sides, and this is the same thing for black men and white relationships. Oh, black women's too difficult, and all this other shit. The blah, 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 blah. That's how you know that they've been conditioned. Because any time that you ask a person why they choose a mate, and the first thing they say because of another race is this, that, and the third, that is a program. That isn't an opinion; it's a program. And unfortunately, I'm about to give you the differences in the programming. It's unfortunate for them, but fortunately for you. And some of us, we're gonna really be mad at each other after this, but it's gonna be the thing of whether you are one of those people that's one of them, are you one of us? So the difference between a Milano and a mixed breed is this: a black woman who has a baby by a white man, 9 times out of the 10, that baby is gonna come out darker than that white man. And so he won't have the ability to pass as much. So he's going to be treated as an off brand motherfucker on a lot of sides back in that time, especially. Like, black people wouldn't really accept you, white people wouldn't accept you, and some people still go through that to this day. It's because you can't pass. You don't look like one of them. So you look like one of us. And so then you don't get to pick a side. You're just there. So you have to feel that feeling. But the difference is when you have a white father and a black mother, you still get benefits. You still get fucking privilege that exceeds you from the rest of the black people. Why? Because the white father 9 times out of the 10 is going to be able to provide those benefits, not because of the fact that he's out there working and he's doing better than a black person, but because the system is built, because the system is built, because the system is set up to do so. Fight me if you think I'm wrong. Now, when you have a white mother and a black father, now things change a whole lot. And the truth of the matter is this: when you have a white mother and a black father, you're born into a situation that's beyond you. You can't go out into the sun as much. You're 9 times out of the 10 ain't gonna have the melanin that you need to go out into the sun and stay out in the sun. So you're gonna need sunblock and all this other shit. And they say, "Oh, Mac, everybody needs sunblock." That's bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Because our people's been living for hundreds of millions of years without sunblock. I said hundreds of millions, god damn it. Not thousands. Don't let them lie to you, because they're finding skeletons that's older than millions of years of old today. This is ridiculous. We got people out here not understanding how biology works. And then we got people explaining away the truth of biology in order to make other people feel better. Come on now, let's talk about it. Tell me I'm wrong. Anybody want to go into the comment section and tell me I'm wrong? The Church of Black Power, all one word, at gmail.com. You can send me an email and we can go toe to toe in the debate. I will bring you on and we can sit here and talk about it. anyone who has a feeling or inkling in your stomach that I'm lying or being misleading. I goddamn dare you. But this is my problem with Milanos. The people who were born mostly, majority of white mothers. So they feel a necessary need to protect white culture. Or people who was born of black mothers who envy their white fathers no matter how they were treated. And so they feel a need to protect and want to be like their white fathers and treat niggas like shit and go hella hard because you understand something. Everything starts in the home. Everything that people believe starts somewhere in the home unless they break away from it. Trust me when I say that. If you don't trust nothing else, research every freaking thing. Research every freaking one. Everyone. Because not everyone that say they're for you are for you. Not everyone that say that they're with you are with you. Not everybody that's sitting there getting your donations are really for any of us. You want to really affect change? Be the change you want to see. So what good is giving me donations if we're working on the project and I'm bringing up the project and then we're assigning project managers and now we're putting together the funding? What good is any of that? See, the thing about the Bible that a lot of people don't talk about, and one of the reasons why organized religion is being called out for the scam that it is that Christ or Yeshua ben Yosef or Yeshua Yahard or whatever you want to go off of, when Yeshua sat there in the Bible and only went into the church twice in the Bible, there was only 2 reasons why he went into the church ever, and it was never to teach. One was to steal to feed the disciples that he was traveling with, and they said that he was stealing. That's a sin, and he said, if I steal to feed my family, is that a sin? Which automatically at that point in time was giving you polarities to everything to make a man think about why there is a purpose for whatever's going on, or if a man's doing something and maybe there's a different purpose. It might not apply to everything, but there's polarities to everything. That is a universal law. And then the second time is when he went in there cracking the whip and kicking over tables because the people was stealing from the people of God. And in the Bible it says in Malachi chapter 3, will a man rob God? And I tell people, and I told pastors several times, yes, by robbing the children of God and not giving anything to them of substance to help them get out of the spiritual bondage. This is the problem. So when we talk about Milanos and we're talking about people who are passing, the problem with me is that they always show themselves to only come out when they're either being called out for being a Milano or being mixed breed, or they're coming out to defend their master as a mixed breed, or they're sitting there saying, hey, I don't consider myself black or anything white because I'm a human. No, motherfucker, there's a whole difference, and we all know the one drop rule. But the thing about the Milanos was they felt like if they could treat us worse than the people that they were trying to be like, then they would be what? They would be elevated, which they were. That's what caused the Moors to fall. That's what caused the Moors to fall. Having Milano babies and those Milano babies trying to be like and trying to be literally more rough and tough than their forefather. Insecure Moorish babies, insecure black babies who were sitting there trying to be like the white men that they saw because they were starting to dominate. So they started running off and telling all their secrets. Sound familiar? Look this shit up if you think I'm lying. And then they wonder why I have a problem with people like this. Well, they're not doing nothing. They're just trying to get their bread. They're just trying to get their bread. If you sit there and sit in silence while your people are being killed and murdered, you're a traitor to your people. I don't give a damn what you say or anybody else. Well, they're not really picking a side. They're just staying neutral. Motherfucking neutrality is nothing but picking a side, and it's the wrong side every time. That's what neutrality is. Staying neutral only says, hey, I'm not going to say you're correct, even though you're correct. So I'm going to lean on this side because people won't take it as you being correct or take it as me saying you're correct. It is neutrality, which is conformity, which means, yes, massa, you're correct over here. So one more thing before we get the hell up out of here. I wanted to show you this interview of the new NFL coach of the Dolphins, Mike Macdonald, and his statements on race. And what did I just say? One of the things that really pisses me off, they always say the same thing. I don't identify as black. And this is what a lot of people who want to coon this shit up say. Whether they're half black or they're full black. A lot of people who motherfucking coon it up, they say they don't identify as black, they identify as human. When goddamn it, humans ain't going through what we're going through. Black people are. ADOS is. Foundational blacks are. So, let's read this motherfucker statement before we close out the doors of the church. This is the motherfucker right here. Michael McDonald. I think people's identity, I think people identify me as something. But I identify as a human being. And my dad's black, said McDonald. The Miami Dolphins' newly hired head coach, Mike Macdonald, is speaking out about the odd questions surrounding racial identity. Notice what happens when motherfuckers get called out for being racist. They go and find the motherfucker that they hand selected to be their fucking puppet guinea pig piece of shit to come out to mask some shit. And a lot of the times they don't even look like us. Some of the times they look like them. And why do they look like them? Because they can claim that they have a black daddy. But who are they motherfucking sitting here taking up for? Who are they obligated to? You can see in the language in which they speak. Because as soon as you say, and I'm a black man, that means that you have to make sure people understand you to be one. That's the problem with passing. If you ain't speaking about black issues like they did in the fucking 50s, 40s, 20s, 30s, 60s. Well, no, not so much of the 60s, but some in the 60s. After that, it was dead from there. You didn't really have people coming out talking about passing and why they talked so highly about black people and why they spoke about black issues and all this other stuff. You don't have that. You have people who are using that passing bullshit to get to a higher place in their career. You got people using that passing bullshit to sit here and further themselves in whatever political agenda that they have. You have people disrespecting our people. It's been very odd, to tell you the truth. This idea of identifying as something. Is that because the descendants of American slavery has been starting to realize that they cannot just go around saying they're just black? They have to identify as who the fuck they are in order to get paid for reparations, in order to make sure that there's policies specifically for us. Is that what you're saying, Mr. McDonald? See, I read this shit and I be getting fed the fuck up. I do. I read this and I get fed the fuck up. Because these people say these things. But because they grew up passing, they never had to deal with the shit that we had to deal with as black Americans. The same way immigrant Americans didn't have to deal with, and immigrant black Americans, let's be very specific, even though you're black, didn't have to deal with the same issues that foundational black Americans had to grow up here with. So then you come here and you think you're different. Not all of you, but a lot of you. And I know this because I'm half and half. My mother is from Central America, from the Carib tribe, the original Carib tribe in Central America. And then my father is from Shreveport, Louisiana. And my grandfather, his grandmother, was on the Carter Plantation. And that's how I got my last name. So I done seen it from both sides, and I hear things from both sides. But the one thing that I do hear on both sides is that one. And when I say I hear on both sides, I mean I'm hearing two different things on both sides, not one of the same thing. Because on one side, I hear black is black and we need to protect each other. And on the other side, black is black, but when you speak about things about reparations and why certain policy needs to be done for not just black people in general, but for the descendants of American slavery, and why reparations only go to the descendants of American slavery, then everybody stopped being on the same page all of a sudden. Everybody stopped being on the same page all of a sudden. So identifying is very important because the Jews have to identify, the Jewish, to be like Jews had to identify, the to be like Jews had to identify, the to be like Jews had to identify themselves as a specific group to get reparations. And are still getting reparations even for people from people that had nothing to do with the fucking shit, like America apparently. Yes, look it up. Mr. McDaniel told reporters Thursday that It's been very odd, to tell you the truth. This idea of identifying as something. I think people identify me as something, but I identify as a human being, and my dad's black. The cover of saying you have a black parent, but working in a white supremacist system and literally acting as a white person your whole fucking life, not calling out the wrongs of what's been going on around you when it happens to your brothers and sisters, not sitting there and saying I didn't call out my blackness because of the fact that I wanted to get benefits. I didn't call out my blackness because I wanted to make sure that black people around me got fair shakes, and I wanted to make sure that they did what they were supposed to do as companies to the same people that was of my race, to people that wasn't of their race. You don't hear any of that shit. And this motherfucker replaced the Brian Flores motherfucker who was fired. Who was fired despite posting winning records in the final 2 of his 3 seasons in Miami. He was fired because he called out the racism that was going on. And if you watch my last broadcast, you would know why people was saying they wasn't fucking with the NFL, and then Dr. Dre and motherfucking Mary J and fucking 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar and motherfucking Eminem and Snoop Dogg went up there and fucking cooned their ass away. Well, not Eminem because he ain't black. He can get away with this shit because he's going to continue to be M and be in both categories. Black people's stupid asses are still going to support them. Some Eminem. Why? Because a lot of people are stupid there. But those same stupid people who are going to continue to support those black people might wake up and realize some shit. And if you don't know why, you can go back into my last video and watch that shit. But there's things going on that people want to act like ain't going on. And we got to call this shit the fuck out. So when we in the Church of Black Power and we talking on that shit, if you ever notice, the background says the power, because the power is you. In the Church of Black, that's all of us. The doors of the church are now closed.